5 things I hate in GTA 3. Number 5. Vehicle physics. The vehicles don't handle very well. They are very prone to smoking on the smallest crashes, to flipping on the most basic things. They oftentimes flip on the smallest bumps like sidewalks or even an obstacle. Hell, you might even flip on nothing depending on what you're driving. What really annoys me is that when these vehicles flip, they don't ever flip back on their wheels, like ever. Like if the ceiling of the car is literally a giant ice cube that just slides across the street. Seriously, these vehicles never roll back on its wheels when they flip upside down. You might just flip by taking a shortcut and lose at your vehicle. It's really annoying. Number 4. The missions. Now the missions in this game, it's either you like them or hate them. If you're looking for a game that has a decent story, then this game probably isn't for you, because there isn't really much to go after. Your character is a mute, so the cutscenes in a nutshell are basically summarized like this. You're basically told what to do, and you do it. The only story you can get out of this game is at the beginning. Your girlfriend betrays you in a robbery, and throughout the game, you rise your ranks in the Mafia, and eventually seek out revenge. Some missions are very simple and easy to do. They can be completed in like 2 to 3 minutes. Then you'll have some that are kind of annoying, whether or not it could be just because they didn't age well with game design, or they just suck in general. The surprisingly hard missions that just kind of come out of nowhere. Some of the annoying missions, I would say, are the ones that require you to drive around the map on a time limit. There's actually quite a lot of missions that have a time limit like this. And if you're not used to the map design, it's only going to make you more anxious with trying to get the objective done with the timer. I suck at this. I really do. And there's quite a lot of hard missions that this game has. In fact, in my opinion, I think GTA 3 has the most difficult missions in any Grand Theft Auto in general. Some of them can include Bomb the Base Act 2, where you have to protect 8-Ball from the Colombian cartel while he's planting the bombs in the ship. Then you have a drop in the ocean where you have to collect packages from the plane. Then you have to drop it off to Donald Love's place. On your way back, you have to deal with 5 stars, and the cops are just reckless all over the road. And I would say the last 3 missions in the whole game are also the most challenging ones, such as Espresso to Go, SAM, and The Exchange. These 3 missions are the most hardest in the entire game, and also probably the most annoying ones, considering how if you fail, you have to start all over from the beginning. I say for the record the characters are quite memorable in these cutscenes, but the missions in general just sometimes are fun, sometimes are annoying, and other times really difficult. It's kind of all over the place in my opinion. I kinda like them, I kinda hate them, and I kinda despise some of them. Number 3. The cops. The cops in this game are crazy. There's no need to be said to them. These guys will go the extra mile to kill you, literally. These guys will do anything to stop your crazy rampage runs. You see, these cops are just absolutely bananas. First off, it's really easy to get a high want to level in just a matter of seconds. It's a very bad idea to rampage on foot, since more often than not, you're gonna get run over by the cops. No point running away, they'll still run you over no matter what. The car chases are even more insane. These cops will literally outrun you no matter what vehicle you drive. Whether it could be a slow taxi or the fastest car in the game, they'll still somehow catch up with you like nothing and try to pit maneuver you. These guys also drive super recklessly. They'll literally go out of their way to put other people at risk and other people at harm to simply stop you. They go insane. These cops are like kamikaze pilots. What the fuck is going on here? When 4 stars come, you just gotta worry about those giant SWAT trucks that just ram you off the road. They're easy to avoid. However, with 5 stars, the FBI are basically like race cars. These guys will ram you off the road, and there's no point in trying to evade them. Whatever you do, do not go on foot. These guys will run you over, and their AK-47s will destroy you in half a second. And when 6 stars comes, you better barricade the doors, block the front door, and not go outside, because their guns will shred you in like a fraction of a second. The tanks that they drive are also incredibly overpowered. Even the slightest tap from a tank in a vehicle is enough to make your car blow up from out of nowhere. These guys mean business, and they do not mess around. They're quite annoying. If you could somehow escape from the cops, that's a huge accomplishment. But whenever you go on these rampage runs, they'll most likely stop you. From running you over, to ramming you off the road, to having overpowered weapons. Most of the time you're gonna die when you go on these runs. Number 2. The import-export list. I never was a big fan of the import-export lists in GTA games overall. All you do is drive around the map, collect a bunch of cars, and drop them off at the garage. Very simple and easy. I think my least favorite is probably GTA 3 in general, mainly because of the cars you have to steal. There's only 2 lists, one in Portland Harbor and 1 in Shoreside Vale. You have to steal 20 vehicles for both lists separately. The Portland Harbor list is probably the one that I dislike the most. There are a few vehicles in this list that are very rare to find, while the Shoreside Vale list only contains 1 vehicle that's hard to find. You have to find them roaming around the map. The only problem is that they almost never spawn in free roam. You could be driving around a neighborhood for what feels like half an hour and you won't be able to find 1 vehicle that spawns. These vehicles include the secure car, the trash master, the ice cream truck, the bus, the flatbed truck, and the stretch limo. These vehicles almost never spawn in the game. The only exception with these vehicles is finding them in missions. Most of the time, however, you're probably going to be doing these lists when you complete the main game, so these missions would be proven useless. Your last exception, of course, would to just be roaming around the map, hoping that these vehicles will spawn in free roam. You better have a lot of patience. Even when they do spawn, they tend to spawn at the worst timings, or at a time where you don't even think they're important. This just feels like a huge waste of time, only for cash that you barely could spend on anything. Number 1. Hostile gangs. Now, during the game, you're going to be making a lot of friends and a lot of enemies. Basically, to summarize the whole thing in a nutshell, you build a bond with a boss, and at some point, you just betray them. That's pretty much this entire game in a nutshell, because you do that quite frequently. In fact, when you finish the main story, 5 gangs will be hostile to you, and I'm including those 2 optional gangs that also turn hostile if you complete King Courtney's missions as well. This, of course, would make logical sense in a story perspective, because for the record, you are going to be going after that particular gang. They will, of course, obviously come after you. Unfortunately, in the long run, this is actually going to make playing the game more difficult, because now you have to deal with the fact that enemies will constantly shoot you when you're in their territories. You can't drive in these neighborhoods safely without being shot by random dudes with pistols and Uzis. You can't even walk around there on foot without being ambushed by random thugs that come out of nowhere. I wouldn't have a problem with these hostile gangs personally, but there's only one gang in particular that I do have a problem, and that is Salvatore's men that roam around St. Mark's Bistro. These guys are probably the worst gangs to be hostile with. You see, these goons carry shotguns, the most powerful weapon against cars. All it takes is 2 to 3 shots to blow up your car, and these guys are everywhere. They'll just be driving around through this place and all of a sudden your car just explodes abruptly with no warning. Only on some occasion you'll have a chance to escape and run away before the car explodes, but more often than not it'll just blow up with no smoke buildup or fire. What really makes this particular gang annoying is the fact that it actually makes certain activities more difficult to do. They're doing side missions like paramedic, vigilante, and firefighter, including the El Burro missions. If you happen to do these after you took out Salvatore's, this will only make his missions all the more difficult, because there are many instances where you have to cut through St. Mark's. It could be in a Turismo race, and cutting through a big chunk of St. Mark's in the last mission. If you get lucky enough to get past that, then, well, congratulations, you fought through the most difficult gang of all time. You can't even beat anybody without being targeted. They will fight to the death, practically.